Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn.
Okay. So have you rolled out your whole conquer the world plan?
No, I was pre-training a baby today, but I did work on it.
Okay.
I did work on it. So I did go on Upwork and put out for a sales focused copywriter.
Okay, good.
So that is my goal, to redo some of the copy on the website. Do you think it's okay to if there's a couple people I like to sort of pay them for an hour or two to do some sample work, or do I have to pick and hire them for the full job?
No, not at all. And what we do, and it depends on the level of person, but what we do for ongoing work, if we're hiring a contractor that's going to be with us, 10 hours a week for the foreseeable future, right?
Mm-hmm.
We actually give them three things to do, three tasks to do. How would you approach this? And we don't pay them for that. Okay. It's part of the hiring process.
Yeah.
If you're asking them to do a massive redo, then I would pay them an hour's worth of work or half an hour.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might be something that becomes ongoing, but I think it'll be more this is a big project up front, and then I'll use you here and there for little things.
Yeah.
So I was thinking it would be fair to be okay, and some of them are so cheap per hour because they're in other countries and stuff. So,
well, if they're in other countries, you have to make sure that their English skills.
Oh, totally. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's copy. I would never, but there's plenty of people, and all their descriptions of themselves and their work look really, really good. So
yeah,
they're in Singapore and places where people really speak English.
Yeah, I have to say there are cultural differences, so you just have to double check on things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm definitely looking for someone who's familiar with my industry a little bit. Not necessarily my industry, but just the idea of what my clients might even be looking for.
Right. I kind of,
a man who's 25 is probably not going to be a good fit.
Yeah. I don't mean to be culturalist, but you may want to find someone in the United States who gets the culture. Okay.
Okay.
You can test it out. I might be wrong about that, but it seems language is so subtle. And copy can be really subtle. So
when I was looking, there wasn't anybody. There was a couple. Well, I guess there was a couple of people. I got a bunch of applications, so I'll look at them. But it just seemed like the list was very diverse, and I did put strong English, fluent English. So I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
there was a woman who, I guess she writes Amazon listings, but I sent her the job anyway because she does NLP and all this stuff, and she's I will basically hypnotize people into buying your Amazon shit. And I was what?
I want that.
So, right? So I was that could be good.
Hook me up with her, right?
Right.
And she did it with you. You're oh, I want to work with you.
Well, exactly. Well, that was the thing too. I'm this is actually going to be pretty easy to find someone because they just have to sell me on themselves.
Right.
And if they don't do a good job of that, then
correct.
I guess, you can tell right up front if they're going to be able to do your work or not.
Yeah.
So
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I love it. Great
so
first step. What else?
I'm doing that. I am fleshing out that last thing you told me to do before I send off the packet to the designer, which I'm very, very stoked about. What sets happy family after apart. And I don't remember what you said, and I think I took a note about this, but I'm not supposed to address like what makes you different from a $200 baby nurse, but I can address it in like what makes our company better.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on this, Devin, but my gut is saying, like, an expert copywriter would know exactly how to handle that, okay?
Okay.
But I would address it so that people, what makes us different than other options that you have out there,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I would say something like that.
And should I bring up anything about like the cost difference or anything like that, or just let them like sort of realize?
I think they can figure that out.
Okay. Because I've literally had people just say to me like, "Why are you so much more expensive?"
Yeah.
Which I don't mind answering.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is why what sets us apart. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that speaks to the money stuff.
Okay.
I would start with that at least.
That's fun. So there's that. And I guess just generally, I have been realizing that I'm doing a lot of, like, with you and with my other coaches, a lot of, like, problem solving and, like, let's put out this little fire and, like, let's make this better. And I'm in a good place, knock on wood, and I really want to stop, like, focusing on fixing problems and focus on, like, really up-leveling everything across the board. So, what do you think is the best way to go about that? Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I have a money problem. Like, let's talk about money. And sometimes I'm like, I have a relationship problem. Let's talk about but like, I don't want to do that. I want to be like, hey, like my money's good, but I want it to be better. You know?
You're doing it already.
And not just like makeup problems.
Yeah. No, you're doing it already. Open Miami, open Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we're already doing that. Okay.
I just mean like across the board to sort of improve everything. That's like just fine. Like, I don't know.
Well, you pick the goal,
a different topic each day. Set goals. I like that.
Yeah, you set goals and then you take action. Okay.
When
then
is
it's a question.
Police playbook thing? January 5th?
January 5th. Put it on your calendar. Yeah.
Okay, it is already. My assistant does all that now. She's so great.
Yay!
She's so great.
You might want to listen. I did a goal workshop today.
Oh, I saw that. I wanted to jump in, but I had the baby.
Yeah. Go to the opt-in and opt-in or something, and see if it's not too late to get the recording, the replay. Okay.
Cool.
So, but really, like, you don't have to always be in like, oh my God, I'm broken, there's a problem. Okay. Like, you really don't. It's fine if that's where you're at because we want to handle that. Okay.
Sure.
But like, let's not create it just because don't be addicted to it. In other words. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying not to be. And someone pointed out to me that like, I love saying that I'm like such a good problem solver and that, but then like, do I just look for problems to solve? Like, am I just a hammer that's always looking for a nail? So.
Yeah. I mean, that's true to an extent, right? And also, you're creative. If you want to say it differently, you are resourceful. Yeah. I really so with the other things aside from business, I mean, we've got you opening Miami, opening Atlanta, right? That's like focused on the goal, and then you're taking action, and we can talk about the actions that you need to take and like test and tweak and go for it. Yeah. Then if you want to do this with other aspects of your life, then again, it's a goal, right? So, I want to be in a relationship, I just got one for you. You do you, okay, but it just came to me. Like, I want to be in a fucking kick-ass lit up relationship. Actually, the words that actually went into my head were an intimate relationship in 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
But it needs to be yours, but that just dropped in for me. So then you have to set the goal, and then it's about, what are the steps to that? Mm-hmm. What does that look like? What are the steps to that? There's a whole process to the goal stuff. So
And how do you think I'm doing with like the self-image stuff in terms of all of this?
I think it's
They're
getting better.
basically the same self-image, right? For like both things. Like, obviously
They can be an
different aspects,
integrated
but, like,
self-image,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But it's not.
But I
it's not
can't be like a
necessarily-
level 3 self-image for one and like a level 7 self-image for the other. Like I
Actually,
have to up-level it across the board, right?
Yeah, yes and no. Like some people have a self-image of, you know, I know how to run a business, right?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
how to make a shit ton of money, and they are, you know, making bank constantly, but their relationships are in the tank. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they have some sort of, that would be an example of a double bind. You know, I can make money, but I can't make money and be in a kick-ass relationship. Okay?
Yeah.
It's an either or binary kind of thing. So you can hold.
That's actually, I think as you're saying that, that's a belief I need to work on too, that like I can have an amazing business. Well, no, actually it's the opposite goal that I need to work on. Because I feel like when I'm not in a relationship, I'm so focused on like dating that I don't focus on my business, and that it's not until like I have that secured that I can shift my focus. So I need to feel like you can work on both at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's safe to be by myself, right? Right, because you're using all your energy to figure out the relationship stuff because you think you're not safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's safe to be by myself. That, when you said that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, nailed it. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So, but yeah, like I guess I mean, you know, it's always a work in progress, but I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like ready for next things.
Yeah. Today you sound like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it. I like it a lot. Okay.
Cool.
Good stuff. Okay.
And yeah, I'm having a couple friends over this weekend, so that'll be really fun. I saw some friends last weekend, same friends, not like going crazy. It's COVID, but it's nice to have a little bit of a social life again and not be like bummed out all the time that nobody wants to hang out with me.
Yeah, good stuff.
So,
I love it. All
right.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What did you say? It's safe to be by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe to be by myself. It's safe to be alone. It's safe to, you know, it's not just safe, but it's fucking amazing to be by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm just worried that if I focus too much on like being okay, being alone, then I'm going to like push away.
It has nothing, but only if you give it that meaning. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's safe to be by myself doesn't exclude being with anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I guess not.
Very on that. Okay. Yeah, you're really, like, it's safe to be by myself. It's safe to be with other people.
Okay.
Right? It's safe to be with people who are smarter than I am. It's safe to be with people who have bigger businesses than I do. Safe to be with people who are busy. Safe to be with people who have bigger goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about the kind of guy you've described to me that you want to be with, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Play at that level.
Okay. I think that, I'll do some beliefs around the safety thing. I think that's important.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Talk
You're
to you
welcome.
next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for joining us for Coaching Uncut. If you loved what you learned today, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love a thumbs up or a 5-star review, so thank you in advance for that. And if you want to take your life and your business to the next level and it's time to scale, please reach out to us and schedule a consult at theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. See you in the next episode. Rock it out and be unstoppable.